Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and fascinating, disjointed, very disjointed puzzle today by Lebardier. Welcome to the channel for a debut, Lebardier, or Lebardier, I don't know, but really looking forward to giving this a go. It's called Shredded, and the puzzle has been separated up into separate boxes that we're going to have to reassemble, although frankly in our heads rather than with any magnificent graphics. I mean, the graphics are already quite good, but anyway, looking forward to giving this a try. It is, I don't know about its difficulty, frankly, so we'll have a look in a moment. But don't forget, on Patreon, on the first of each month, we produce a new Patreon reward set of puzzles, and for March, it's a series of negative constraint puzzles. So on the 1st of March, they're out, available until the 20th, basically, to solve in terms of the competition. And loads of extra content always on Patreon. My crossword solves, Simon's longer Sudoku solves, very popular. And all sorts of other things from time to time. And also, our apps feature a lot of puzzles, none like this, I can assure you, but Thermo and Miracle and Killer and Knight's Move puzzles and the like. Do check them out. They are very good value, like Patreon, as is Sven SUDOKU PAD and our merch. But those are things you could spend a tiny bit of money on. You could spend a tiny bit of time, or quite a long time, on Shredded by Lebardier, and I'm going to go through the rules. So this is a normal 9x9 Sudoku grid, very normal, that has been separated into 3x3 boxes, shown here in an arbitrary order. When correctly assembled, the following rules apply. Normal Sudoku rules, which are placing the digits 1 to 9 once each in each row, column and 3x3 box. The center cell of each 3x3 box contains that box's number in reading order from left to right, top to bottom. So if this was box 1, that digit would be a 1. And box 1 is obviously the top left box. Then 2 is the top middle, and so on. Reading order from left to right, top to bottom. Along blue lines, these are region sum lines, each segment of the line contained in a 3x3 box sums to the same total as the other segments of that line, and digits in cages sum to the small clue in the top left corner, and all the cages are uniquely contained within one 3x3 box. That's it, that's all the rules we get. As I said, the way I'm going to do this is not by physically moving the boxes around, but by imagining them in my head, and I hope it will work. Let's get cracking. So, have we got anything to go on? Yes, we've got the lines. Okay, there's a 4-cell line here, right. That does not join to the 1-cell line because the minimum total for 4 digits is 10 if you added 1, 2, 3 and 4. The maximum total for 1 cell is 9, and 10 or more does not equal 9 or less. That is a knowledge bomb free from Cracking the Cryptic. So that box joins to this box. And I'm putting the, yeah. And again, it can't join when it comes out at the bottom left of a box and goes into the bottom right of another. It's not this one because of the same issue. That could only be a maximum of 9. So it must join onto this one. So this line joins onto this line, and this line joins onto this line, and that seems to make sense to me. So, okay, what shapes of box does that give us? So this purple line goes down a box and left a box. So it's a shape like that. Just going to draw that in there in this random box. Then, oh, the green and orange are both in this box. So this goes down into that box and right into that box. So actually, it's going to have to be like that. The green and orange connected segments. And they're going to have to fit together with purple like that. Because if you were to put purple there, there'd be nowhere for green to go. If you were to put purple there, there'd be nowhere for green to go. If you were to put purple, oh, bother. Sorry, I'm wrong. Purple might be there, and then green is at the bottom there. So, green is it's either there or there. So it's box 1 or 4 on top of box 4 or 7 next to box 5 or 8. So it starts here. That is 1 or 4 on top of this box, which is 4 or 7, next to this box, which is 5 or 8, and that's our answer. You can't put an 8 in a 3-cell 10 cage. So that is box 5. So this version is correct. That's a 4 and that's a 1. And now we know the numbers for the purple cages. They are box 6 on top of box 8. No, box 9 next to box 8. And there we go. I'm going to remove the aide-memoire. And we have some digits in the grid. And the other boxes are between them, boxes 2, 3 and 7. This digit can't be a 2 in a 28 cage. It can't even be a 3 because the other digits would add up to 25. And the most you can get from 3 Sudoku digits is 987 equals 24. So that is a 7. And these are boxes 2 and 3 in some order. Now, I'm going to get the tool out, the pen tool, and draw some lines. So, boxes 7, 8 and 9. Let's put a gold line through the middle of them. Oh yeah, like that. So that connects boxes 7, 8, 9. I want to be able to see them as a horizontal group. And I can do the same with boxes 4, 5 and 6. We'll put a pink line through them. I am replicating colours, but I'm conscious that I'm probably going to use a lot of different colours. Ooh, I can't go beyond that. Anyway, boxes 1, 2 and 3, let's do them in blue. That was a very poor effort. We'll go there. 1. Now, I've already made a boo-boo and put a pink line through what I thought was box 6 and what isn't box 6. So we'll go back and put the pink line through the actual box 6. This one is either box 2 or 3, and so is this one. So those, I'm drawing those as the horizontal lines that I'm going to have to follow for grouping boxes together, and I now want to do some vertical lines if I can. So 1, 4 and 7, I can do all of those. The situation is complicated by my not knowing which 2 and 3 are. So I can't really do 2 and 3. I will do 6 and 9 in one group, and 5 and 8 in another colour, grey. There we go. So that might help. Now, this pair obviously adds up to 5. This pair is even more helpful. That's a 2, 3 pair because it can't have a 4 in. And that is in the pink segment, so this pair is in the same row. Oh, so's this pair. That's become a 1, 4. So now we've used up 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the row. This 12 cage has to be 5, 7. That digit is from 6, 8 or 9 and it can't be 6. This one is also from 6, 8 or 9, and according to its blue line, which is here, it's going to be 6 or 9. And this digit is the other one from 6, 8 or 9. If that is 6, this is a 1. If that's 9, this is a 4. This blue line, the big blue line total, has a total of 14 or 15, which is those and these two on the top of the 8. So they add up to 6 or 7. That's not a very helpful total. Now, what about the green line? Can't have 2, 3 or 4 on it, but it has 2 digits that add up to a single digit. About which I know very little. So, they must include a 1. It's either 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7 or 1, 8, and this is 6, 7, 8 or 9 on top of the line. So that 1 is looking at those cells and putting a 1 into one of these. And in box 5, the 1 is in the bottom row, which we already knew. Okay, we worked out these add up to 14 or 15, the purple total, the purple region sum line total. Plus 10 is 24 or 25. Plus 9 is 33 or 34. Subtract from 45 the sum of every box in a Sudoku. And we get 12 or 11 in those two cells, I think. Not a helpful total, frankly. Okay, I'm missing something probably. The grey line that I've put in. Can I work out what this is vis-a-vis the 8 and the 10 cage? If that is... can I use the blue line? Oh, I've got a 4 above the blue line and a 4 below the blue line, so I need a 4 on the blue line in this box. Doesn't really get anything done. So there seem to be a lot of possibilities here. This could be 1, 7, 2, 6 or 3, 5. If it was 1, 7, that's quite interesting. That would make this a 2, 8 and that a 3. If this was 2, 6, that would be a 3. But if this was 3, 5, this could be 1, 9 and that could still be a 2. It's the only way for this to be a 2. It's quite prescriptive. And then it would be above the 5 and the 8 box, and that's not very helpful. Okay, I'm a bit stuck. Now, let's have a look at this one. Oh yes, using the secret 45, which is the sum of every row, column and box. These two add up to 37, so the other digits add up to 8 and include a 1. And that's not very interesting at the moment. Yes, it is. Ah, yes, it is. This 1 is on a red line, so that 1 cannot be on a red line. That's a 1. And on the other red line cell, the 1 is on the right of the box, so it's there. So these two add up to 7 now, and that's a bit harder. But let's keep looking at the red line. They're not 1, 6. They're going to use whichever F2 or 3 is not used there. They're either going to be 2, 5 or 3, 6. No, 2, 5 or 3, 4, sorry. Oh, look, if they were 3, 4, what do you put in here? You can't use 1, 3 or 4, and you can't use 2 because you can't use 7. So that's a 2, 5 pair. That's a great spot, even though I say it myself. Now, this can't use 1, 2 or 5. That's a 3, 6 pair. These cells are 4, 8, 9. We've already had a 4 on the red line. Now, the red line itself, I'm just looking at these cells. Not actually, but 2, 5 on the left of the red line, so that's not a 2. I can't tell in this puzzle what is a 3 in the actual corner of the grid, I'm afraid. It's not really, actually I could. It would have been here in box 7. But that's not a 3 because we've just put a 3 there. So we don't get a 3 in the corner of the imaginary reconstructed grid. We get a 3 in one of those cells. We got a 6 there. So down the left of the red line, we've got 6, 2, 5, 1, 3. That is not 4, so it's 7, 8 or 9. From here we need, we're going to have a 4. One of those is a 4, so that's not a 4. So I can put 4 in box 1. This is not a 6, and that is a 7, 8, 9 triple. And on this line, that means this is 6, 7 or 8, but it can't be 7, so it's 6 or 8, and now that can't be 8. Now, I haven't looked across the boxes much because I didn't think they were doing quite as much. One of these two is a 5. And that means the 5 on the central red line is in one of those cells. Wow, I mean that got quite a bit done, but I don't know if it's going to read across, which is what I really need. So on the blue line we've got 4, 1, a 2, 3 pair and 6. So that's not 3. Everything else on this blue line is 5, 7, 8 or 9. Now we're not going to put 5 in a 10 cage of 2 cells. We're going to put 7, 8 or 9 there, and therefore 1, 2 or 3 here. That's quite interesting, but not very conclusive. I don't quite know what else I'm meant to be looking at. I still haven't sorted out the 2 and the 3, which I feel would be incredibly helpful if I could. Down the right side of the red line, I haven't got many of these things. 1 and 4 are in box 7. I was going to call it the top box, but it's in reality the bottom box, which is weird. No, it's not really happening, so I'm going to have to try and go across to something else. I don't know how. Sorry, this is going to take a while, I imagine. That joins on here, so I still don't know if that's a 1 or a 4. Ah, interestingly, there's either a 4 there in box 2, well, box 2 or 3, or there in box 2 or 3, and that's going to sort out which of these is a 4. Is it already sorted out? I can't see how if it is. 3, 2, 4, 1, we've got that 8. And that 5. Oh, and they're going to definitely be under a 2. Oh, that's an interesting thought. So the 9 and the 6 are definitely going to be under a 3. Doesn't matter which box it is. I mean, I feel like maybe I can do this total, which is either 14 or 15, but I really don't know how. Maybe it is this. This is going to use the 3rd digit in this box out of 1, 2, 3. So these others are not from that set. I mean, that's not going to help, is it? I don't think it is. No, it's not. I am concluding with that. Now, come on. 8 or 9, 6 or 8. These, 2. 2 is there, left of the red line, on the red line. It must be right of the red line here. That's a 2, 3 pair, and that's in row 1, above the blue line in row 1, 2, 3. So whatever that is not in this box. I wish that helped. And below the blue line, we've got 1 low digit there and 1 here, but I don't know about here. This could be 1, 7, couldn't it? Oh, this is annoying that I can't sort out the 2 and 3 box. That is the most annoying thing in the puzzle, actually, at the moment, for me. Am I meant to do more on the region sums? Maybe. So, if that was a 9, making that an 8, that would make this a 9. Oh, that's quite interesting. 9 and 8 there would make that a 9. And 9 would be in one of these cells. Oh, 7 there would make that a 6, which would make that a 9. So this can never be a 9. Because either this is 9 and that stops it being a 9 by Sudoku, or this is 7 which makes that a 6 which makes that a 9. So that's not a 9. So 9 is not in those cells or those cells, so it is in these 2 cells and not there. one of these two is a 9. Now, I wish that helped. I don't think it probably does. 9 has to be on the right. Oh, that's huge, actually. 9 has to be on the right of this box now, in one of those cells, and they see these two, so there's no 9 there, so that's a 4-8 pair. And this is 9 in box 7. And obviously we know where the 9 is in the orange row 7, 8, 9. So the 9 in the 8 cage is on the bottom row in one of those two cells, not here, where it would bust the region sum line above the total of 14 or 15. Okay, well that was something, but it didn't sort out the 2 and the 3 box. But we got 9, 7, 3, 4, 2, 1, and 5, 6, 8 still to place. We've got an 8 looking at that cell, which is 5 or 7. 4, 8, 1, 2, 3. These are from 5, 6, 7, 9. And in the row of 4, 5, 6, I don't know anything. That's here, here, here. I don't know enough. So if that was 7, this would be 8, and that would be 6. This would be 5, 7, 9. That's impossible. Look, there's a 6 in one of those cells in this box. There has to be. This is a 5, 6 pair. There we go. There we go. So that's a 5, 6 pair. That becomes an 8 by Sudoku down the red line. That becomes a 9 by whatever it's called, region sum line rules. And we got an 8 there. That becomes a 7 by Sudoku. There's no 7 in that set, which is now a 5, 6, 9 triple. And that becomes a 7, and that becomes an 8. Okay, good. Now, can that read across in the 1, 2, 3 group? This is where I want something to happen, and nothing is happening. I can take 8 out of that cell, and that's useless. What about the central bit? 4, 1, 7. That's not a 7, and those aren't 7s. So now this box is either 8, 2, or 1, 9. 4, 1, 7, 6. A 2, 3 pair in the middle, and 5, 8, 9. In the bottom row, 9, so that can't be a 9. That is not quite done. Oh, goodness. This is in the 4. Yeah, I've spent a long time looking at the 1, 4, 7 vertical strip. I want to move on to something else, honestly, now. But I kind of need to get something across. So, 8, 2 or 1, 9. Maybe the 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I haven't sorted out the long blue line. I haven't sorted out this line either. I haven't got close to doing it. That can't be a 5. Or a 6. This row is going to go through the 5 and the 6. That's a 9. There we go. I have sorted out the orange region sum line. 6 there makes that a 1. Now, this is going to tell me about box 2 or 3. That cannot be in the same column as this. So this is not a grey line. This is a grey line. And is box 2 above box 5. This is the 3. In the line is sort of lemony colour. Above the 6 and above the 9. Right. Now, surely I can relate something here. It doesn't look like it, does it? Okay, if the 3, 6, 9's no good, how's the 2, 5, 8 set? Oh, the 8's got nothing in it. Oh, frustration. But I know where all the boxes go. That's surely got to be worth something in shredded land. The other 1 or 2 is here with a 6 or a 7. So 5 is not here. Come on, the new information is the 369 and the 258 sets. Why can't I use them more? Let's just highlight the 258 set again. So we've got a 1. I don't know. How about the 185, the 123 set? So that's there, there, and there. And we know it's either 2, 6 in this box, which would make that 5, 3. And the other digits from 179, or it's 1, 7 in this box, which, because of the 1, 7 there, would put 1 and 7 here, and I don't see how that's actually getting anything done. Oh, bother. Right, let's record. This is either a 1, 7 or a 2, 6 box. But this is on the yellow line, so it's not a 6 there. 6, 3, 4, 9. This is 1, 2, 5, 7 or 8 by the vertical boxes. I can't see anything that reduces. Well, it's not 5 given the box. It's not 1 either, because that can't be a 9. So we did actually get quite reduced there. We're using either a 2 or a 3 in this 10 cage, which is on a even keel with those digits and those digits. Wow, if that was a 2-8 cage. There's an 8 on this orange line, so that is a 4. That puts an 8 up here, and that stops this being an 8-2, so that's 7-3. That is good work. Now, this adds up to 14 or 15, and it doesn't include a 3. It can't have just, I'm trying to leave out 2, and then I get 1, 4, 5, 6. That adds up to 16. That's too much. So 1 and 2 are on this line. And they go along, wow, the trouble is they go along with a pair that adds up to either 11 or 12. Can't be 3, 8 or 4, 7. So it could be 5, 6, or it could be 4, 8. And the other of those pairs are in this group here. But they're looking at these sets. So if it was 4, 8, that's 9, 1, 3. That would have to be 6. That doesn't work. Okay, if it was 4, 8 there, you'd have a 3 here, 9, 1. And 6 in this column. Remember, it can't go in those cells, so it would have to be here. And this would have to be 2, 5, 7, but that can't be 2, 5, 7 because of that cell. So this is not 8, 4. This is 5, 6. This group of cells is now 1, 2, 4, 8 and adds up to, you do the math, 15. So that's a 9 on the line. These two are going to add up to 7. I will get back to those. Right, we've got a 9 there. We've got a 9 here. On that same coloured line, we need a 9 on the right. It could be there or it could be here. This is now 3, 5, 6. So that's not a 5 or a 6. And this isn't a 5. It's a 7. And now this isn't a 7. It's a 9. The cage is 8, 2. This cage is not 6, 2. It's 1, 7 in some order. That's a 5 and that's a 6. And reading up to here, this is a 1, 4 pair. I know where the 1 has to go then. 2, 8, 3 to place. This one can't be the 3, I see. So 2, 3, 8. Now I look along the rows. I have to try and do this some way methodically. 6, 1, 7, 4, 9, 8 there. So that's not an 8. So I've got 2, 3 and 5 to place along the pink line. Under it, 9, 5, 7, 3, 2, 6. Oh no! Okay, I was in the wrong box down here. Let's go back a bit. Sorry. Along the pink line. Let's try that again. 7, 4, 9, 6, 1 and a 5. So everything else is 2, 3 or 8. Sorry, I did go into the wrong box. Above the pink line, 1, 8, 5, 4, 2, 3. And this must be 6, 7, 9. And that makes this an 8. And now along the pink line, we've got 8, 6, 1, 7, 4, 9, and 2, 3, 5 in some order. Now the 5 cage is under the 8 cage and the 2 cage. So that's not a 6. That's all I get from that. Let's do this grey line. No, I don't know. Let's do the red line again. Or I don't know what to do. 2, 5, 6, 1, 7, 3, 8, 4, 9. Oh, that's all done. Okay, above the blue line. I don't think I've looked at that for a while. 1, 7, 9, 4 there, 8 there. This must be a 6, 2 pair, and this is a 3, 5 pair. And 5, it must be below the 2 on the grey line. It is. So we've resolved them. And down here we've finished this box. 3 there. So that was below the blue line. We've got 9, 5, 3, 6, 4, 2, 1, 8, 7. And that's a 9. And in the 2, 5, 8 column, that 9 is going to fix 9 in the 8 box. Down the centre, 3, 2, 5, 4, 8, 9. Everything else is 1, 6 or 7. Down the right side, we've got 5, 6 and 8. We need a 9, that's got to be here because it can't be in this box. So 5, 6, 8, 9, we need a 4 in one of those positions. Still don't know about this pair, that add up to 7, I think it was. And down the left side of the grey line, 4, 9 there, oh, 1 here. Oh, in fact, that's become an 8 by elimination, the 1, 7 pair. 4, 9, 8, 1, that's not a 9. So there's a 5 down this side, not very helpful. But let's look along the orange line. 7, 4, 9, 8. So that's not a 4. That's not 4 or 8. I don't know, there's not much going on. Above the orange line, 9, 8, 7, 3. So that's not a 7. Below the orange line, 6, 3, 1. So there's no 1 here. So there is a 1 in one of those two cells, and on the left of the lemon line, yeah, that's going to fix that cell. 7, 1. So down the lemon line, that's an 8 suddenly, which is good to know. This is a 1, 2, 4 triple. Right. Now, this is below the orange line. We suddenly got an 8 there. 6, 3, 1 here, so that's a 5. 6, 3, 1, 5, 8, 9. Got 2, 4 and 7 to place. This one can't be a 4 because of the pencil markings. This is 2, 4 or 7, and this is a pair that adds to 7, so it's not 7. This is 5 or 3. Now, can I look up or across? For some reason, I'm going to try across first. Yes, there's a 3 above the orange line, so that's a 5. That's a 2. That's a 7. This is a 4. These are from 1, 3, 6. And on the orange line, they see a 6. So that's a 1, 3 pair. That's a 6. Up the grey line, 6, 8, 9, that must be a 7. 4, 5, 7, that's now a 1. down the right of the grey line, 5, 6, 7, 4, 2, 9, 8, 3, 1. So we get a 2 and a 3. So we must be finished with the grey line, the 2, 5, 8 set. This 2, 5, we've got an orange line going across. We've got an orange line with a 1 on it there. So that's a 2 and that's a 5 on the orange line. Oh, we're done. Have I suddenly filled in all the cells? I thought there were more to look at. Gosh, I find that quite good fun. I mean, it's quite difficult looking at all of that stuff all at the same time. But it's very clever. Sorry, I was just getting rid of the colours that I had put on the region sum lines. I'm not getting rid of the lines I've drawn, which actually I found quite helpful. And if you went, what on earth is he doing and why, then my apologies. But it really helped me get through it, and you can take his advice or as a mad way of doing a puzzle. I enjoyed it either way. And as always, we thank you for spending your time with us here at Cracking the Cryptic. We hope to welcome you back tomorrow when we will post 2 more videos, as we always do. And we look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now.